Wireless. Big racing fan? Get Verizon Championship Racing for race highlights, behind the scenes, and exclusive interviews right on your VCast phone. From the network with the most 3G coverage, Verizon.
You're looking at the first race ever at Charlotte Motor Speedway, 1960, the World 600. Joe Johnson drove into victory lane. There's his driving suit, his champion spark plug t-shirt. Joe got to bank $27,150 from the then largest purse in NASCAR history, $107,000.
And Bruton Smith and Curtis Turner, who built this racetrack, the reason they made it a 600-mile race, Mike, was because they wanted it to be bigger than Indy. You know, Indy had a lot of influence on our sport early on, us wanting to be bigger than they are.
The shape of the track is the same, but an awful lot has changed since that day in June 1960. Kurt Busch out front in a Dodge, Denny Hamlin, David Rudiman Toyotas, Jimmy Johnson Chevrolet, then the Toyotas of Logano, and Kyle Busch has climbed to 6th place. Let's catch up on the 2nd place car, Matt.
Mike, all three Gibbs cars running in the top 6. Denny Hamlin, his car was tight early on, didn't hit on that last caution, so the car is much better, especially now when he's down in the shady parts of the racetrack. So this racetrack continues to come to him as the sun continues to set.
You know, Mike, you talked about that purse that Joe Johnson got for winning this race. Tonight, the winner, a minimum of about $340,000 to win.
And this guy here, I think he's going to end up running about 650 miles tonight. Because I'm telling you, he moves around on the racetrack. He's been absolutely out against the outside wall all the way around the racetrack. And you just saw him kiss it just a little bit, or tried to right there. But he has been rim riding around this racetrack.
But Mike, remember, that's one of the guys that you and I talked about in the pre-race, a guy to watch. Greg Biffle in 16 started back in the 40th position, told us on Friday that he knew he had a good race car. They just kind of stepped on their toe in qualifying.
But you saw that car snap a little bit as it corner exit. That's why running the high line's a little easier. When you crank that thing hard left and run around the bottom there, back in the throttle, the back end, the front will push a little bit, and then the back will snap out. And that's what makes running the bottom so difficult.
His Roush Fenway teammate gave way, and Biffle moved up a spot. Here's another of those Roush Fords, the 99 of Carl Edwards, going past our pole sitter. That's for 11th place.
And remember, Carl Edwards started back in the 29th spot. This is a backup car. He crashed in practice before qualifying on Thursday. They did get a little practice in before qualifying, though, with this backup.
And really, that's pretty impressive when you think about it, Larry, because that's as good as I've seen this 99 car.
Yeah, doesn't change, though. Time.
It's really as good as we've seen this 99 car run in quite a while right now in this point of the race.
And he is the highest running Ford right now back there in that 11th spot. He was talking something about Ryan Newman in the 39 there. I'm not sure exactly what he was talking about, though.
I think he was trying to run across his grass, if I heard him right.
You saw Edwards' progression up through the field to where he now sits in 11th. 10th is Jamie McMurray, the Daytona 500 winner. One of the Ganassi drivers, the other, Juan Montoya, in the garage with his car still under.
Oh, trouble down here, guys.
Turn
off turn 4. The 47 car. Marco Sambros just comes around. Poor guy can't catch a break.
All right, but you got no flats. Keep rolling there.
Boy, if it wasn't for bad luck.
4150. Stay 4150. The leaders are coming off of 4. Stay 4150.
These 2 weeks would have nothing at all for him.
Soft right rear back here. He'd be lucky to get all the way around and that thing not come apart. He better be careful.
See what happened to his Toyota here, Darrell.
We see some right rear damage. He's all by himself. There he is, way up high back over here. You see him, and the car got loose middle of the corner, spun down off the racetrack. Fortunately, no one around to hit him.
The discussion on their team radio was that taking the 2 tires did not work well for them, and there's the result.
But I'm going to tell you who this is a pretty good break for. Pretty impressed with the way that car did. The 11 car, Denny Hamlin, because he did not pit the last time. He was about 10 laps from having to make a green flag stop.
You see Marcos, he just gets loose. Car gets around on him. All that smoke's from staying in the gas, so it won't back up the hill into the wall. Pretty nice job of hanging on to her.
Goodbye Cohn, but he did keep it out of the wall and otherwise out of harm's way. his pit is right there. And they said, no, go around. And he did.
I think this will even things out as we see the commit cone out there in the grass. I'm sure NASCAR will put it back in place before we go back racing. Pit road's open, but I think you'll see everyone take 4 tires this time.
Dick Berggren.
And David Rudiman indeed is going to take 4 tires. The car is tight in the center of the corner, which they blamed on the 2-tire stop last time around. Steve.
Jimmy Johnson says that his car is tight in the center. He's having to wait on it to get in the gas. They've already made an air pressure adjustment. Now they make a chassis adjustment, Krista.
The leader, the only change, Air, want to put it back the way they had it to start this race. 4 tires this time for the 2. Matt?
Crew Chief Mike Ford making small adjustments, keeping up with this racetrack. On the 11 of Denny Hamlin, this car a tick tight in the center.
Little collision on pit road. Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer, Joey Logano. Now the leader will be David Gilliland. Gilliland stopped a little earlier, stopped at lap 49. For some reason he decided to stay out. Here's Boyer pulling out right into the path of Jeff Gordon, and Joey Logano had to go to the grass to miss it. We'll take a break. You're watching NASCAR on Fox from Charlotte.
The Coca-Cola 600 on Fox is sponsored by FedEx. We understand you need reliable shipping options. FedEx. Buy new extra crispy strips from KFC. Big strips, double breaded for a big crunchy taste. So crunchy, so good. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Today, most always you'll find a crew chief up on top of the pit box. But back in my time, you'd find me on pit road. And this is my favorite position, Jackman. And I was taught how to do this by the Hall of Famer, Junior Johnson, quite an innovator. Let me show you the trick he taught me. Definitely faster, but NASCAR didn't like it.
Thanks, Jeff. Down in the Nationwide Insurance pit zone. Yeah, NASCAR passed a rule against slinging that jack around the front of the car. The free pass, 77 Sam Hornish, and the wave arounds were Bobby Labonte and also Travis Quapple elected the wave around. So we go to the restart with Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman, the front row.
We had 6 cars went with just 2 right side tires, including the front row of Jimmy Johnson, the 48, Ryan Newman, 39. Steve Burns told me they wanted to get that 48 car of Johnson clean air.
Green flag to begin lap 96.
This will be interesting because the 2 has been so strong. Let's see if the 48's got anything for him once he gets up there.
Here comes Kyle, 3 wide, right up the middle.
And you notice his teammate just sort of faded to the left there.
Goes Kurt Busch, turns that thing right to the bottom of the racetrack, side by side off turn 4.
I want to say, Larry, this is going to be an interesting experiment here. I just don't know if anybody's got anything for the 2 car right now. Whoa, that doesn't look good.
Straight up the middle, Kyle Busch, Rudiman on the bottom, 00, Biffle up top.
Man.
And Kurt Busch was credited with leading that last lap. This one will go to Jimmy Johnson. This will be the 17th consecutive race at Charlotte Motor Speedway that Jimmy Johnson.
Nice work, my man. New leader to 48.
I believe that 18 car is coming though. I believe they got him fixed up.
17th straight race here that Jimmy Johnson has led. But Kyle Busch underneath Ryan Newman. Ooh, little slide there as he got the left sides in the paint.
Well, that's that tough spot right there. When you're down the bottom, got a little wheel cranked in it. They want to get pushy loose, just like you saw him do.
Lane at your door, corner, still there, corner.
Well, that's where you have to be so careful right there because you're coming at the spotter, so you're a little bit on your own right there, late exit of turn 4.
But Larry, he doesn't hesitate. You know, Kyle Busch never hesitates. He believes in his spotter, Jeff Dickerson, and when he says you're pretty close to being clear, that's clear enough for him.
Now we see Denny Hamlin in this 11 car go by Greg Biffle in the 16. That was a battle for 7th. We got the report that Denny Hamlin spun his tires on that restart.
As the evening goes on, we'll see more and more of that. We'll probably have some big mess up here on the front straightaway when we have a restart.
David Rudiman, the 00, last year's winner. Underneath Ryan Newman with Clint Boyer in tow. This is for 4th place.